So this plate needs to be able to run into this die to be able to get the full 90 degrees. So I'm going to take the die out, bolt it together, kind of zip tie it where it needs to be, and line up my bolt holes that way. This needs to sit here. Yeah, it's not gonna work. Let me just put it all in the bender. I gotta make sure this bottle jack fits inside the bender frame itself since it's so tight. All right. Okay, those holes weren't lining up that I drilled, so I drilled a third one right in the center here. I'm just gonna run one bolt in the front. Maybe I'll find somewhere to put a second bolt closer towards the back. All right, I'm gonna drill right there. I just noticed that this piece isn't cut square. I don't know if that's on purpose. I know this part up here, this top piece is welded at an angle. I don't know if it's supposed to, which way it's supposed to go. Also, this doesn't fit over the bottle jack screw top, so I'm having to file the inside of this. I might have to grind the bottle jack top too. Okay, so I got this to fit. I basically just ground off all the powder coat on the top of this screw part, and I had to use a die grinder and clean off the inside of where this little screw comes through, because there was so much metal burrs in there where they drilled the hole and it just wasn't cleaned out. So got that cleaned up. This can go on now, and I'll see where it needs to go. I need to look up a picture or something and see which orientation this needs to go, because I'm not sure. It might be obvious once I hold it up, but I want to get it right. Alright, I got this marked. I guess I'll tack it in and we'll give the bender a cycle, make sure it works. I'm pretty sure the screw goes forward, so the angle is kicking it back a little. I don't know, it seemed to line up better that way. I guess we'll see. Okay, let's put it together. FedEx delivered this box in the rain, and this metal was not, it was just inside of a cardboard box. It wasn't in plastic or anything. So it started to rust pretty much immediately. Let's try. Crooked. It's more than 90 degrees though. I added another hole back there so it would clear this section, this little bracket down here. I had to move it over to the right and slightly back from where that first hole was drilled. So I've got 2 bolts in this now to keep the bottle jack from trying to twist. Since it's so tight inside the frame, I don't want it to get twisted up in there and get bound up. I'm pretty sure this is the correct orientation for this, but I thought it was kicked back too much. Like I thought this bottle jack was leaning back too much, but I looked at some pictures and that seems to be the correct orientation. So I'm gonna give it one more full stroke of the jack, make sure everything's good, and then fully weld that piece in. I might give it a light coat of paint just to keep it from rusting more, and then I'll do a test bend, see how it goes. I guess that's good. It's a little weird how it pivots up here in this section, but I guess it works. I'm gonna get it fully welded now, and I need to weld a release. I'm gonna weld something onto that release knob so that I can quit sticking my pliers down in there to release the pressure of the jack, but okay. All right, it's been a few days. I got some paint on this. I'm going to reassemble it. Okay, there it is. Let's bend some tube. My first cut with a cold saw too. It's nice. All right, I got a piece of 1 3/4 tube here. This is A-true. It's seamed. It's 3 feet long, and I have it marked every inch. just so I can kind of see what the die does or how much tube it uses per bend. Okay, let's see what happens, I guess. Kind of nervous. Right there, just got it. Okay, let's see what happens. Yeah, it's not right. Well, it did make a nice bend. I gotta modify this bender though, unfortunately. Alright, I moved this piece about a 1/4 inch over farther this way. Because this is getting a little crooked, so let's see what happens now. That's 92. That's it right there. And give the compressor a second. Is on. Oh, that's so close. It's 1 degree from being exactly 90 degrees. It's showing it as a 91 degree. So that's pretty good. That's pretty good. I'm not upset about that. For one swing of the ram, it was 90 degrees, basically 91. That's a pretty good quality bend too. And I put this, because I had to reset where I had the ram mounted, I actually put this pre-bent piece back in the bender, lined it up with my mark, and it caught the original bend and kept going, and it actually looks even. So, not bad. Alright, so I have a bender again. I had a Rogue Fab bender when I lived in Nevada, but I sold it before moving across the country. The Rogue Fab bender is in a totally different ballpark than this, but you know, this is a fraction of the price. I'd say you get what you pay for with the Rogue bender. It's definitely a superior bender, but for somebody like me that's bending 1 or 2 things maybe a year, the price point for this is better for me. So I also ordered an 1.5 inch die, and my first project with this is going to be tying in the roll cage on the front of the YJ. I'm going to do a couple of down bars and then at least a spreader bar, one spreader bar across the top, maybe one at the bottom of the windshield. We'll see. And I haven't decided. I'm either going to use 1 3/4 or 1.5 inches for that. 1.5 inches is a lot cheaper, and I'm definitely going to mess up some tubes. So I do think it'd be nice if Affordable Bender included some instructions on exactly how to line it up, or if some of these bolts should be tight or loose or whatever. I didn't see anything officially from Affordable Bender. I just kind of watched a few other people's videos about using these and setting it up. So, and I think it'd be cool. I mean, I think pretty much everybody, maybe not everybody, but a lot of people are going to be using the Harbor Freight 12-ton bottle jack. If this bender was just a 1/4 inch wider, maybe 5/16 wider, something like that, it would fit the Harbor Freight bottle jack and you wouldn't have to grind it down and modify it as much. So I don't know, a little bit of feedback, I guess, for the Affordable Bender guys, but for what it is, I think it's perfect. I think it makes a great bend, and for somebody like me just in my garage, this is going to be more than enough. It is limited to only like 110 or 120 degree, I think it's 110 degree bends. So the only thing I can think of that you would need more than a 90 or more than 110 would be like a shock coupe, but you could still make a shock coupe with just making 2 bends instead of 1 continuous bend. So I don't know. It has some limitations and drawbacks, but again, for the price, I think it's gonna be really good. The price and the size. Look how small this thing is. One more thing I forgot to do. I had the sticker on my rope fat bender, and I loved it. So I'm going to add one to this bender too. Okay, now we're done.